Good day, good evening, whatever it is, friends. Happy new moon. So we're gonna have a little circle time right now. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, beauties. Hello, everybody. So we have special guests. Sophia, can you please close the door? We have special guests. Let's see how it's gonna work. Yes, you are a special guest. So, привет, привет. New moon, January 11th, and the new year, right? So there's a lot that's going on, and it's 1/11, so it's obviously a significant time. So I want to address some of the things that are happening right now that have been happening. Collectively and individually, we've been going through a lot of how can we call it, healing times. Hello, healing times, and challenging and triggering and emotional and beautiful at times, and deep, and with a sense of seeking for meaning, and maybe sometimes finding no meaning, and being okay with that. That's one of the lessons that I've been learning through this winter time. Hello, welcome. So yeah, this is like a little circle time that we're having right now, gender non-specific, just for everyone to connect with the energetics, because I always say the more we get clear about what's going on, like on a bigger collective level, the more easy it is for us to accept whatever is happening for us, because then we don't feel alone. We don't feel like, oh, something is wrong with me, I'm doing something wrong, or there is this sense of like self-criticism that sometimes we get too deep into, some of us. That helps. So Sophia, can you please just sit down? So what are we doing right now is January is this the 11th, right, is the energy of moving forward, having a strong focus, leadership and initiation, and in general, it's the energy of manifestation, right? The leading, starting, and the fact that the first new moon of this year, right, even though we've started the new year, but we really haven't started it so far, because this is really starting the year, because new moon in Capricorn is sort of like it's that kind of annual year of the start, and we're also starting the later on the year of the dragon, right? And it's a very powerful and potent energy. There's a lot of potency, so there is a connection to the purpose, which is 1, and there's 11th, which is the energy, just in general, having a lot of potential, having a lot of energy, being able to move it, to direct it, or just in general, getting a sense of a strong of like sensing. I know many of you here connect to energy and feel it, even if that's not fully trained or it's still unconscious, but you are more of that feeling, sensing. And this is a year, this is the year where we're going to be tapping more into the patterns, into the collective energy. It's also the year of number 8, and 8 is obviously the infinity. It's also the archetype of justice, and it basically, there is a lot of karmic return, and karmic means positive and negative to a human, because karma is just basically the reaction to your action, right? The universal reaction to your action. And this year we're going to be receiving a lot of that kind of return. So if somewhere we haven't been honest, if somewhere we haven't been fully in alignment, then we would be And it's not so much of like punishment, but it's just a equilibrium, bringing more of the, neutrality, that the kind of sense of infinity. Hey, baby, are you bored? Oh, come over here. Come sit here with me. Look all these people. So, so there is coming into that equilibrium. So we will have to be, I think some people will have some losses in general. But again, this is where we don't know what's best for us, right? And sometimes those losses not sometimes, there's always, that's the energy of 8, is sort of trusting that whatever is happening, whatever, regardless of how hard or unjust it feels like it is, staying with it and seeing that it is a divine hand, that it is, I design, it's for my highest good, etc. And then of course, being a human, finding the value, still mastering yourself. Energy 111 is a energy of mastery, of mental mastery, of self-mastery. And we have to do that this year to get anywhere, because otherwise the energy is going to be all over and we will be disoriented. And I think also a lot will be pushing through, say, chakras. And there may be some more emotional discomfort. There may be more psychological distortion if we are not getting more in alignment with our truth. So this is really important, right? Because whenever everything is a reaction to our actions, so whenever we're not in alignment with our truth, we are receiving kickbacks, and they're not very comfortable, right? Because when we are moving in alignment with our truth and we're expressing our truth, then we receive more of our truth, and that's the most pleasant sort of experience. Anyhow, so 8, 1, 11, those are the numbers that are important that I'm talking about right now. So a little bit more about the number 8. Beautiful. A little bit more about the number 8. And how is it so far, by the way? Feel free to ask questions, or I also know that most people will be watching this in the recording form, so feel free to ask questions whenever. So about 8, the energy of give and take, equilibrium, right? Coming into this union of the two polarities, maybe even in a sense finding that center equilibrium. Sofichka, can you please come over here a little bit closer? Thank you. So what else is present with energy 8? There is a lot of working with the systems, a lot of bigger structures, organizations, working with governments, doing some bureaucratic things that maybe you will have to do, maybe working with banks, insurances, maybe investments, all of that kind of stuff, maybe getting, basically starting, some things will be kind of pushed on you, some things you would voluntarily go in, but in general, it's a year where we're gonna see, and it's 2024 and Pluto is going into Capricorn. It's just a major year for system shifts and changes. And I think by the end of 2024, we're gonna be looking back, we're gonna be like, wow, it, maybe sort of like, COVID times kind of. So it's just starting more. And so it's important to have mental mastery, to practice mental mastery in order to not go into distorted ways with your energy, because energy, like its energy is not right or wrong power, right? Your fuel, your source is not right or wrong, it's just neutral. How are you using it, like any other tool, is what really matters, and that depends on your intention, which is 1, right? So 1, 11, mental mastery, your intention. all of that good stuff that is really important for us to work with bigger systems, with organizations. Some of us will be maybe moving more into from, you know, private practices into creating businesses, hiring more people, just working, collaborating, creating bigger structures, bigger systems, being involved in any of kind of situations like this. There can be legal things, court things that will come up. I don't know, even like, some tickets for parking in the wrong spot or something like this. So, and so that's number 8. Maybe also traveling a little bit, but still getting really close and very, connected with the matrix. So the positive of it and what is required of you in order to, to master, how does mastery look, is that you are able to be in sort of cooperative kind of a relationship with the systems as a partner and not as a subordinate, right? So because in general we're switching from that vertical type of relationship into horizontal with any system, with any human, and no one is higher than someone else, and that goes with your relationship even with the system. And oftentimes we feel kind of like on this vertical line. So when we go into whatever that we need to come into agreement about or get something from each other with these big systems, we need to feel like we're part of them, and that would make it the easiest for us, and also what actually can spark the change from inside. It's not the conflict and the war that we oftentimes feel towards those things. It's so beautiful. I don't know where you're finding them.
Mama.
Hello. So
From here.
still talking. Yes, from there. Okay. So what else do we have? Let me see. 1, 11, 8. I think I said a lot about those things in general. So a little bit about the past. A couple of weeks we've had this crazy Mercury retrograde time, and this one was specifically difficult for, I think, a lot of people. Be careful, my love. And it was traveling through the later degrees of Sagittarius and early degrees of Capricorn, like mid Capricorn. And so there is a lot of I think post hangover from Софичка, пожалуйста, не надо. Like hangover from this Mercury time, because we're still in the shadow, and the shadow is going to be over in about a couple of days. Just please don't touch this tripod, okay? So there's still changes of some information coming through. Decision making is still a little bit difficult, although it's just gonna start become more sharp. Right now, as we're starting on this new moon, we have always the dark moon is a little bit hazy, so it's the more of like overall sensing and embodying, and then later the clarity will start coming in, and the vocabulary for what you've experienced will start coming through. Even tomorrow, once the moon is starting to grow, and that's going to be the momentum forward. We also have Mars in Capricorn, and it's a very active position for the Mars. It's strong there. It can create things all the way through about mid of February. We have this momentum that we have a potential to gain the momentum. Energy, will be moving forward. We can jump on the train and create some of the things that are really important for us. Ground the intention for the year, right? Remember in 111, the intention for the year, mental mastery, and embodying that on the energy level, because 11 is energy. Yes. How is it so far? Let me know if you have any questions, if there's some comments. How have you been feeling? Софичка, please. So what else do we have for this year? A lot of relationship stuff. Definitely, it's a big theme. Feminine, and overall, I mean, 2024, like I said, will be a lot of restructuring to make it more in alignment and have more room for the feminine as much as the masculine, which just in general a theme. Sofichka, please. Is it bother? Can you hear us well? I'm not sure. So, so restructuring to make it more, to create more room for the feminine, right? Why do we need to create room for the feminine? And by feminine, I mean the whole spectrum of emotion, the connection to the body, the inner harmony, well-being. Софичка, пожалуйста, you distracted me. That's a good practice for mental mastery. So so for the feminine, we need more softness, more room to exhale. Hello, beautiful people, welcome. We need more room to exhale. Tanya, do you want to come in? Do you want to come in? Tell me, text me, because I see you trying to. If you send in the request, send me a message if you want to get on, or if it's a mistake.
Mama,
Yes,
I cannot see.
you cannot see. No, right now you can't. But if I turn it on, you may. So, how else does the feminine look like implemented and having, being in this space? So more room to exhale. So what do I mean by this? Is that our life is combined of inhalation and exhalation, right? Everything where we stay alive like this, and but collectively, especially in the Western world, we see a pattern of being more on the inhale, being more on the contraction, more you having the active role. And when we are, say, need to rest, like rest is not as respected, right? I know there is now rising rest culture, but even that one is, there is a specific type of rest. There's different levels of resting, of course, and one type of rest can be, binge watching on Netflix on some sort of really like emotional, some part, it's good, everything is good in moderation. There's no, everything is good. Whatever you feel, sometimes we need that, but overall, right, there's different types of rest that create different type of energy, emotion, structure, that you feel either more disturbed or more in peace, etc., right, which depends on the environment and everything that we put in ourselves. So with the feminine, we need more room to move, to connect to our emotions, to be in the community. So that means that exhale, that, giving yourself the opportunity to just be with other people without needing to perform, without needing to be, to let go of the shields, to let go of the guards, joining communities like this, joining groups, retreats, all of that stuff, being in groups like that will support you and will support your truth. Because the more you practice being your authentic self within a safe community, the easier it will be to practice it outside in the world, right? So that is a big theme for 2024, and all, it's just getting stronger and stronger, because like I said, we need two legs. We need the feminine and the masculine. And by letting the feminine rise, the masculine harmonizes, and more, everything comes into more of a, I don't want to say balance, because on the ultimate level, yes, some sort of highest level, there is balance as an equilibrium, because everything is an equation. But on a human level, there's a level of harmony, right? It's not 50-50, like feminine, masculine, 50-50. Everyone's finding their truth through their life, through different times of their life that changes as well as between people. Sophia, you want to say something? So and what else? So creating those spaces, joining those spaces, having more of that kind of expression where you feel heard. And because when you feel heard, then it's a very healing experiences for those of us, especially who haven't felt heard, and many of us haven't, for not for our truth at least. And so it's a really good and important practice, because then when we have that integrated in our body, we can go and meet those systems. We can go into being big, government, like what I said, right? We can start working on that infrastructure in this world to make it more grounded, to create more infrastructure for the feminine, like things that are already happening, for that we know that, like the basic example would be the like a 3 days off. I think in Italy, do they have that now, that you can have on your red days, you can take what is it, period leave or something like this, right? So things like this, creating more infrastructure, making things a common sense, because it is common sense, because we're not the same physiologically, and there is value in us taking care of our natural organic ways of being and finding the most harmonious way of being, and that everyone benefits. Because like I always say, you are the missing puzzle, you are your purpose. You need to be yourself. That's your purpose, right? You are, like, if we can be saying whatever is wrong in the world, but really what it is that you just need to be yourself, the best you that you can. And that's the solution. So that's for 2024. By the way, us in astrology, we say that, 2024 has been not dreaded, but it's been looked at as like a big year. It's a big year because Pluto going into Capricorn. So, which means just major restructuring. Софичка, пожалуйста. Major restructuring to some big systems, like really big systems, and at the same time uprise of new systems that are, I will talk more about it maybe at some other time, but there's this concept of egregors, EGREGOR, I think, and it's an energy structure built by humans, and it can be either pulling in or giving out the resource. And so a lot of those big systems that we have right now, they're sort of pulling in the energy from other people towards, right, the center. So other people feel in some way dependent on those systems, and they cannot free themselves. In the giving systems, those structures, that kind of channel opens channels in other people, so everyone becomes connected to the source, and at the same time collaborating and using as much as whatever needs to, as far as sharing the resources. So it's a little bit complicated, but maybe you got the point over here. So we will be seeing the change. We will be seeing the decline.
Mama.
Yes.
Still bored.
You still bored? I know, it's boring. It's really boring. Whatever we're doing over here is so boring. It's better to play, right? So I think that's what we're going to do right now. What we're going to do is we're going to do a short embodiment practice. And we're going to just connect with our body and just get a little into kind of that mode for the new moon. Again, if you have any questions, if you wanted to share something, regarding Mercury, so it's been a challenging time, and if you have been feeling like changes in your mood, emotionally it was very, you know, hidden on many things, especially this you know, last few days. So it's just to say that it's normal, it's all of us, and that you probably are doing a big emotional healing, not only for yourself but for the collective, and sometimes we just need to feel it for everyone.
We're going to do a short one for real?
Yes, we're gonna do it now. For real. Okay, so let's stand up. We're gonna stand up. And what we're gonna do right now is that we just want to connect, let's see, with the body. Come over here. And so 111 is obviously this very kind of, oh, I'm sorry, this masculine. It's in a big way. The one is in a very masculine energy, straight up leadership, going forward, like I said, right? So we just want to get that into the physical body, that connection to that leadership state that is going into the world, that is facing the world, that is channeling its truth and expressing its truth, and collaborating, etc., right? But it's this kind of sense of connection to your own source, because 11 is the source, is the energy. Sophie, please don't do this because there is a candle over here, okay, my love?
I want to play.
Yeah, here, over here. Okay, so connect with your feet to the ground. You can close your eyes. And if you are not standing up, if you can't stand up, just sitting down, feel your seat on the ground. And if you're on your feet, then connect with your feet to the floor, really starting to feel all of the places where your feet are touching the ground. Becoming like your entire eyes, your attention is at the bottom of the feet, and you're starting to sense them more. Maybe there is more warmth, you're starting to feel some tingling sensation. And through that feet, you feel like like they're opening up, they're becoming more energetic, and there is energy just floating through your feet down into the earth. And there's this sense of sort of flashing down. Whatever needs to be let go of, it's being flashed down through your feet into the floor. And keep your eyes closed. The eyes closed, attention inward on your physical sensations and maybe your emotions, if that's rising. And here we are just becoming present and aware. We're not trying to change it. So this is the practice. We're not trying to change it. My love?
Where's my spot?
Where?
My spot.
So keeping your feet on the ground, starting to bounce a little bit up and down, but just a tiny bit. Your knees are very soft. Oh, I don't know. Let's find it a little later, okay? Let's start moving up and down, just vertically, bouncing up and down. Your feet are hip width distance, and you're bouncing, and you sort of like very grounded, and at the same time very flexible. And that anything that comes through, like you kind of start moving, and it's like something is coming at you, you just can move, but your feet are on the ground, and you're not moving your feet, but you can kind of like dodge the bullets, you know? And you're very flexible, and you're grounded at the same time. You're not fixed, and you're not too wiggly that you are losing the connection with the ground. And that's the energy for the year. Whew, it's going to be bringing some things, you know, it's going to be bringing some beautiful, amazing, heart-opening experiences of connection and pleasure just beyond what we could have imagined. Us feeling that and being in that state, and it could be bringing some challenging places and moments where we have to expand, and we feel maybe scared or uncomfortable or vulnerable. And the more we're stepping into and starting to feel how you're stepping, and now you can start moving your feet, and instead of having your legs hip width distance now.
These on now.
Yes. put your right foot or left foot in front of the other foot. So put one foot in front of the other and just sort of feeling how you're entering into this new reality and bringing your energy into, yes, almost done. Almost done, my darlings. And the state here is that it's already done. It's already done. You are already done in some moment in time. It already exists. So whatever the reality you're imagining, they are all infinite timelines, and the one that will happen is the one that you choose by stating emotionally and through embodiment of what you want to feel and how do you want to feel. And this is where you can bring in an intention for one feeling that you want to embody. That's the most important feeling and state for you. That's the intention for this year. One more minute. You want to go with daddy? Think of that, whatever that comes up really quickly. It's not something that you have to think too much, but there's one feeling that you want to embody. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's peace. And feel it in the body. Maybe it's joy and like childlike exploration. Maybe it's self-compassion. What is that feeling for you? That one, the most important one that you like, your life cannot continue without it. It's at the core of your being. You know that. And really just placing that into your heart. And your feet are, maybe they're moving forward. Oops, Sophia. Maybe moving forward and back. You're sort of like entering into this reality, really letting yourself in. And you can come down to sit where you were sitting, or you can keep standing up if that feels good for you. If you're standing, then you still feel like you're grounded on your feet, and if you're sitting down, you feel the seat very grounded, connected to the floor, the chair. And as you are setting this intention, you understand that it already happened. Understand that it already happened. It's not like you can make a mistake, you can do something wrong. It's already happened. And you're just living that. You're living your reality. You're living your life. Yes.
Play.
And you're just playing. You're just playing in this life, right? And see, maybe you can expand your vision on how that some of like perceived negative experiences is just a play.
My jeans.
Oh my God.
I need a belt.
Negative experiences are as play as the positive. Everything is in this physical life. Hello, welcome. Whatever else is there that as your intention for you. I see. Joined. Tanya, did you join on purpose? Did you join on purpose?
Yes.
Oh, hello. Sophia is she's bored. You wanna go see daddy? I cannot see you.
Ау, а как камеру? А потому что это темно, свет выключен сейчас.
Hi, Neil. Привет. Okay, what do you wanna bring into the space, my love?
Sorry, could you repeat, please?
What do you want to share with the space that you joined?
Intention for this month.
Say it again. Intention for this month?
Yeah.
Mama,
Смотри, Илюшка, смотри.
What is your intention?
Explore. To explore, of course, and more love, more peace, harmony, and love, most important. Love is the answer. It comes to me. Love is the answer. I was so excited to see Sophia.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so what's really important here is once we found that one most important word for ourselves, that one intention, not only for this month, but for this entire year, or even, you know, life, right? But for this, we are now choosing it. We are really choosing it, and that's work, because in the moments of humanness happening, we don't always choose love. We sometimes, love is like the last thing we're thinking about, you know. But to choose it and to have that, practice that mental clarity and intention, that requires, you know, strength and vigilance and all of that stuff. And this is where our work will be coming. I'm so happy you shared. Thank you so much.
And one more thing, I feel like this year will be super hard, really super hard. And I believe that we the universe is preparing us, but we will be able to handle it, you know, like but honestly, this is the message that I'm receiving. It will be difficult, but beautiful at the end.
Yeah, and I think there will be islands where it's like always. I mean, as I'm looking back on all those, you know, last 4 years, some people were experiencing like the end of the world, and my life was like pretty good, you know. So it really depends. Whatever we need to experience, whatever the return is, right? Remember that karma, that return. And the most important thing, the more in whatever happens, we believe that it is for my highest good. It is a divine gift, whatever it is happening, that regardless, you know, the polarity, it's for my highest good, then it actually will be happening easier and easier, and there will be more things that are in alignment and pleasurable. But if we are contracting and we're saying, oh my God, it's so unfair, I can't believe this, why is this happening, look at them, like, you know, then it becomes even more. So we, you know, this is where the magic is.
Thank you for aligning us. And thank you for showing the path, and thank you for supporting, and thank you for holding the hand, and thank you for everything.
Привет, друг. You're so welcome. We're in this together.
Thank you.
And so let's see. That's all from my side. I think about these times. I mean, there's just so much astrologically that's happening that I'm not even gonna go into, but I just wanted to bring the most important themes out, because that's those are the main threads, you know, all for the truth of being, you know, in our uniqueness, being in our authenticity. Like that's the path, that's the purpose, and that's what we're doing. I'm so happy, Tanya, for you joining and sharing your intention. And Neil, we're gonna this beautiful lady is tired and bored, as she said. So we're going to sign out right now, and let's connect, and let me know if you have any other questions. We're going to be in touch. We'll see. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. Actually, I feel like this winter for me, Almost, yes. This winter for me is that kind of, a very creative time, even though it's not the easiest. So I will be updating. Mwah, Anya, thank you for staying all the way through. Love you, love you, love you.
Love you. Thank
So
you.
we'll see you, and I will talk to you on
There will be
Sunday.
a beautiful event this Sunday, very close to you. It will be art exhibit and brunch music. DJ
Oh,
Morgana. If we
yes, I
actually will
love
find
DJ
time, I
Morgan.
would love to
I'm
go
gonna
there.
take a look, which actually reminds me what I forgot to say is that I have an embodiment session at Ananda Ashram this Sunday at 2 o'clock. So whoever is local to this location too, this is, women's embodiment session. And it's going to be it's going to be a good experience. And so thank you so much. Maybe I'll
Thank
go
you.
over there and see DJ Morgana.
Thank you.
I love you
Love
all.
you.
Bye bye.
Good night. Bye bye.